Hi, your accountant is saving you taxes, and I'm trying to get you a mortgage. And I want you to understand how we work together. So, the tension nobody talks about is how to navigate this strategically. I want to talk about a conversation that self employed people almost never have until it's too late. It's a conversation between what your accountant is doing for you and what I need to do for you. These two things are both working in your favor, but if it's not coordinated together, they can work against each other. And nobody tells you this until you're sitting in front of me wondering why you don't qualify or why you're looking at higher rates than you should be. And the core tension is this. Your accountant's job is to minimize your taxable income, save you as much taxes as legally possible, or at least that's what my accountant's job is. My job is to help you qualify for the mortgage you want, which requires your income to be high enough to pass the stress test for the amount of mortgage money you need to borrow. So you see the problem there? The better your accountant is at their job, sometimes the harder my job gets. And this is not an either or, but it requires a conversation usually before tax season, not after, right? So let's talk about how income is looked at for self employed clients. If you're incorporated, we're typically looking at your T2 corporate returns and your T1 personal returns. So, how much your business is making and how much you are paying yourself from that business and how you are paying yourself from that business. Are you paying yourself a salary, dividends, a combination of that? Is each one is treated differently by different lenders. And if you're a sole proprietor, we're looking at your line 15,000. So the net income after expenses, the expenses that save you tax, they also reduce your income. So we have less income to use to qualify you on a stress test. And this is where the planning conversation becomes so important. We've sat on calls with clients and their accountants to work through exactly this, especially this time of year. Because what income do you need to show? What write offs are you going to use or not use? How should we structure this next year to hit that qualifying number? Okay. So, what does the planning actually look like? Well, sometimes we're having this conversation for 2 years before someone buys. And that's not unusual for self employed clients. We'll map out what does an A lender need to see? What does a B lender need to see? And what is the gap between where you are and where you need to be? And what do these actually cost? Then your accountant can look at the information and make a decision to serve both goals. Do you want to put your vehicle in the business or in your personal name? Do you want to take dividend or a salary? Do you want to maximize write offs this year and then pull back to qualify next year? Well, if we're looking at a product that needs a 2 year average of your income, then we may need to do that 3 years ahead. These are not decisions that have massive financial implications if we plan ahead for them, but they should be made intentionally, not by accident. What should we do right now? If you're self employed and you're thinking about buying a home in the next 1 to 3 years, do this call us before you call your accountant at tax time and get a picture of what you need or what windows you need to be in for qualification, right? And that information you can then use in your accountant meeting, or we can meet with your accountant as well, so that both professionals can work together so that your decisions serve both goals. We do these strategy calls all the time. They're free and they can save you years of frustration. So, in summary, your accountant and your mortgage broker should be working as a team. If they're never talking to each other, that's the first thing you need to fix. Don't let good tax planning accidentally kill your mortgage options. And don't let mortgage planning accidentally cost you fortune in taxes that you don't need to pay. Get both people in the room together, even if it's just a phone call. It will save you years of frustration and thousands of dollars of global expenses that you don't need to pay, either on the mortgage side or on the um, tax side. If you have self employed questions, we are your self employed experts. We've trained over 500 mortgage agents across the country how to specialize in these types of files. And we would love to help you with your situation. 289 645 1568.